Hey everyone, welcome to the Plant-Based Morning Show. It's Thursday, December 7th, 1 week into December, best month of the year. So it's time to start enjoying it if you're not yet. And it's also time to start shopping for stuff. I realized. I feel like December 1st got here and it seemed like it was so early. And now you wait another week from now and you're gonna be late. You're gonna be having shipping problems and all that. I think we're still dealing with supply chain issues. That seems to be just never goes away now. So anyway, reminder, start shopping. This weekend might be a good time to do it. Online, of course. Don't go anywhere. Okay, Doug added. How's it going, Doug?
Good, Matt. Have you started your shopping? That's the real question.
No, I've not bought anything yet. I've thought about some things. I have a little document full of ideas for different people, but have not purchased anything.
For yourself or for others?
For other people. Nothing for me.
I'm in pretty good shape, honestly. Yeah. Ordered Katie's gift last week, and the girls are pretty much taken care of. So,
good.
We're in pretty good shape.
All right. Well, good time to remind people, if you're on Instagram, go over to youtube.com/nomadeathlete. Much better version of the show over there with the sound quality is much, much improved. And the comments and things that's where the action is. So get over there. I see there's a bunch of people in Instagram right now. So good time to move over to YouTube for this. Also reminder, we're sponsored by Compliment. Lovecompliment.com. Get speaking of gifts, kind of a lame gift, but if you need just someone you just can't think of anything for, you could always go get them some Compliment supplements and things. Get them stocked up for New Year resolution or whatever. But last resort, don't do that first. Think of something more personal maybe first, and then do that if you can't think of anything.
Yeah. But speaking of New Year's resolutions, speaking of Compliment is holding another sweepstakes. One of our favorite things to do. This time we're partnering with Plant Strong, Rip Esselstyn's company, Simple Green Smoothies, Plant-Based News, Mastering Diabetes, and I think one more, maybe not. But anyway, we're giving away $1,000 gift certificate to a grocery store. You do a little plant-based grocery store shopping spree, along with a brand new Peloton bike. So get your fitness in order, Peloton bike and Peloton membership. So it's a good one. It's a really good one. And a whole lot more. Compliment products.
All right.
Meal planner.
Where do people do that? Where does one do that?
Just go to lovecompliment.com. There's a big ad right at the top.
Lovecompliment.com. All right, good. Click on the ad, opt in, and you're set. And you're guaranteed to win.
You're not guaranteed to win. That is false information.
Misinformation.
That is misinformation. That is not misinformation. That is straight up false information.
Disinformation. That's even worse.
Disinformation. Yes. Yeah. There you go.
I came across the word disinformation today, and we talked all about misinformation yesterday, and then I wondered if there was a difference. And I don't think there is.
I learned the term yesterday. Disinfluencer, something like that. Someone who intentionally spreads misinformation. There's a name for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Something like that.
Seems like it's not a really good name because they still influence you. Just
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Miss Jeffrey wants to know if the sweepstakes is open to Canada. It sure is. Got to get that U.S. Canada.
We changed the rules. The rules were changed for you, Mr. Jeffrey.
Rules were changed
across the company,
just for Mr. Jeffrey.
Yeah, it was like Tim Ferriss when Tim Ferriss went and did the fighting or whatever in China, and then he found a loophole, and they had to change the whole rules of the thing because he was exploiting it, which is cool, right? You make that big of an impact on anything. So, Mr. Jeffrey, you did that. You impacted the company's legal rules. Congratulations. Yes. Okay. All right. Anything else? Any other stuff going on, Doug? Any news, Christmas things, vibes, anything like that before we jump into our weather report? And then we're going to do something special today, by the way. Q&A.
Yeah, big Q&A.
Last two shows, there's no content to talk about really. Today, there actually is a few little decent weather report items. But in general, there's just not that much to talk about. So this time of year. So anyway, we got some good questions in the Discord that we will address in a few minutes, and that'll be fun. But what in the meantime, Doug?
I slept in my new mattress for the first time last night.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That was a long time. Or no, you ordered it. And then how
Ordered
long
it
did
Black
you have it
Friday.
at your
Yeah,
house?
no, it arrived yesterday, and we set it up. So it took a minute.
Unrolled
Black
it?
Friday, unrolled it, let it
Mm-hmm.
expand. Feels very
Yep.
different than the
Right.
spring mattress that I had before. Um,
Uh-huh.
but they, everything, like all the they did a very good job, both in the package, in email follow-ups saying it takes 30 days to adjust to a mattress. It takes 30 days to adjust to a
Mm-hmm.
mattress. So I think I'm gonna give it a little while. I slept great last night. Honestly, it felt pretty good.
Oh yeah.
So
Was it a foam mattress to get real hot? Sometimes they do.
this one didn't, or I didn't notice it yesterday.
Okay. Good. Glad to hear it. Use your new
Yeah.
free pillows and things.
No, we didn't use them. We got them, but we
No.
didn't use them. No.
Yeah, ours went right to the closet, not to be used.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. And did you allowed it to off gas for a little while before you slept on it? Subjected yourself to those fumes and things?
I'm maybe a couple hours.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know what the suggested amount of time. Phyllis Hauser wants to know what brand was it, Doug? Was
I
it
think
purple
it's
or
a Casper
Casper?
mattress. Hmm.
Okay. They do some heavy podcast advertising, I believe.
They do, and they are vegan. We looked it up
Uh-huh.
before we purchased.
Good. Nice.
Hmm.
Very nice. All right. Cool. Good. Well, glad to hear that. Keep us posted on how your new mattress works.
This was not sponsored, but just to be clear, not sponsored.
No sponsorship. Could be if they want to get in touch.
That's right.
We can
Yeah.
definitely could influence your.
I got
your
more than one
reviews of
bed.
it if we were getting paid.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good. All right. Well, let's jump in. Let's not waste any more time. Just because. Oh, you know what? One more non plant-based related item. Taylor Swift, Person of the Year, Time Magazine. Did you hear that?
I did see that. Of course she is.
That's pretty. Yeah. Right. I mean,
Who else would it be? Nobody.
The easy criticism would be say, come on, in this time of the world going on, an entertainer, like that's the person of the year when people who are like, I don't know, starting revolutions or climate, whatever, or political things. But I mean, it's hard to argue with how much she just seems like I said last week or whatever, she just seems to have vaulted from like already most famous person in the world to the still more most famous person in the world.
I don't think anyone has been as big a part of pop culture this year than her, but it's way more than that. I mean, it's honestly way more than pop culture. It's been a very successful year for Taylor Swift, and I mean, of course, she's the person of the year.
Why is it more than pop culture?
The economy. I mean, she had like this huge boost to all the cities where her tour was. So.
But all that is just money that flows to her, right? I mean, I guess
all the hotels and all the restaurants and
Okay, but it comes from somewhere. It comes from people, right? It's still just a net. She profits and a couple others do, but like it's not like the world is suddenly better now because everyone spends more money.
No, but it's a boom for the city,
right? But it had to come from somewhere. That means that the people then have less money than they did before, but they got entertained for one night, I guess.
I mean, that's
they got to
how the
tap
economy
along
works, though. I mean, that's you measure the growth of the economy by how much people are spending.
I know. I'm anti-consumerism these days. I don't think spending is necessarily good.
Okay. After you just told everybody to start shopping, it's kind of a little wishy-washy today, man. I don't.
Anyway, Morning Brew says that the Fed gave her a shout out for boosting the U.S. economy this summer through massive spikes in hotel bookings surrounding her concert dates. We heard that about I think it was Beyonce as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she had a big year too.
Europe. The Eras tour, that's Taylor Swift, is expected to become the first concert tour ever to gross over $1 billion. And Swift became a billionaire this year. I didn't know that.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I'm saying.
Her movie broke a bunch of records, right?
Yep. AMC smashed its previous ticket sales revenue in a single day when the Eras tour movie surpassed 26 million in advance sales in 24 hours. And when she showed up to the September 24th Chiefs versus Bears game to support boyfriend Travis Kelce, 8% boost in NFL Sunday Night Football viewership. Is that a lot? 8% boost? I don't know.
8% seems pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So there you go. Person of the year.
Person of the year. There you go.
I don't know.
What would have been a better person of the year? Maybe is some sort of AI.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, ChatGPT.
Yeah, they should have made, like, remember that once they gave it to you and it was you, like, when YouTube was kind of coming out,
Yeah, that was late.
and they put that mirror on the front. This time it should
Uh-huh.
have been like a robot of some sort,
Mhm.
or just
Computer.
ChatGPT.
But
Yeah, or the guy, who's in had that company. What's his name?
Sam
Sam Altman.
Not Sam Altman, yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't get it, actually, just based on that.
Yeah. Well, as a Swiftie myself, I'm happy about this.
Mm-hmm.
It means absolutely nothing. Who made it in the year, so might as well be Taylor Swift.
Yeah, true. All right, so there's that. To the real weather report. This one,
Weather report. Yeah. Okay.
my mom sent me this one from adweek.com. They're reporting that the CEO of Impossible Foods, Peter McGinnis, this is the same Impossible Foods that's rolling out the beef hot dogs, Impossible beef hot dogs. He spoke at Adweek X conference in Los Angeles on Monday, and he admitted plant-based meat brands have an image problem, among other challenges like taste, distribution, and price, which we've heard those before. But to the image, he said that the founders in the space are historically climate warriors, and they've made sustainability a key selling point. But that apparently has made the category smaller than it needs to be. He said there was a wokeness to it, there was a bi-coastalness to it, there was an academia to it, and there was an elitism to it. That's a direct quote. And that pissed most of America off. So he said, like, they weren't
he
going
said
after
there's an
vegans,
eliteness to it?
that there was. He said there has been.
That's
And I don't have the actual talk in front of me, so I don't know what that was referring to. It's possible, like, the articles make it seem like that was talking about Impossible's marketing. It's possible he was just kind of talking about the plant-based meats in general across the board. And I guess that's true. I mean, he probably knows better than we do. And if he's willing to say that, then I'm guessing he wouldn't just make that up if it wasn't true. So anyway, that's they say they're going to kind of rebrand. Relaunch Impossible in a very inclusive way, emphasizing what it stands for rather than what it's battling against. I don't know, because they already have been targeting flexitarians, not vegans. So they've never been doing that. And he says that in the same talk. So, like, I guess now they're going to target, and I guess if you think of someone who's a flexitarian, I would typically think of, maybe not the same as vegans, but like you still think of people who live in cities. A little elitist maybe kind of thing, the Target shopper versus the Walmart shopper, perhaps. And I don't know. I guess I can see. So they're going to change
the
that.
Walmart's the one with all the Beyond Impossible foods. Sure. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. He also mentioned technology. He said that advertising these or positioning them as food tech did the category no favors either because we don't eat technology. This is a quote. So I don't know. And then he ended with saying, not trying to like steal market share from Beyond Meat. The category needs to all come together and make this thing bigger. But I think it's kind of a good thing. I don't know whether it's true or not, the wokeness thing, or if that just kind of got, as we talked about all yesterday, one side sort of just like took that and ran with it and said, this is now their thing and we're against it. But if he's going to say, I just feel like if you were on that side and you heard this guy admit that there was a wokeness and saying, this is not what we want, we're changing this, that might open the door just a little bit to someone wanting to try it. Possibly.
Maybe. I don't know. Not really sold that a company can rebrand as more inclusive, but
yeah, I don't know either. It's hard to, if things aren't working, the solution is not generally try to make your target audience larger. It's usually to make it smaller and like go for the vegans, for example. So I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Other interesting news, controversial Daiya coming off of their controversial pizza pyramid scheme, which I think I not received
those coupons.
I know. I think I was premature in saying that this might be the end of the company. That it seems not to have really changed too much about them, because they have now just rolled out a totally new formula, new and improved recipe. It's already available in stores. One of the largest investments in next generation plant-based cheese since we started the company 15 years ago, says Michael Watt. And guess what? They want to be more inclusive. They're trying to resonate with the growing demographic of flexitarian customers. Literally, the article in Veg Economist, again, in the subheadline said, more inclusive marketing or something. Their
Alright.
campaign, they got a new campaign titled 100% plant-based, even if you're not, and invites all cheese enthusiasts to explore their offerings. I don't know.
that. I like
but
that
who's going
slogan.
to eat this? I mean,
Even if you're
it's
not,
fine with
go
me.
ahead and I think
But
that's
what
good.
person whose ethics allows them to eat cheese is going to say, I'm going to just get this different bag of cheese today. I mean, if you try it once, you're not going to ever do it again. If you're still allowing yourself to eat cheese and you try that, you're saying that's not cheese. It's plasticky, terrible stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to work.
I mean, if you think it's healthier,
I'd actually,
I think that
maybe.
most people don't
Maybe
think
so.
of cheese as being healthy. I might be wrong about that.
No, I think that's right. No, I think they don't. I think
Yeah.
people, even paleo types, keto types, they don't think dairy is healthy. So that's a little
Mhm.
different than meat in this case.
Yeah, so so maybe you're like, because I do think that non-vegans eat vegan cream cheese, for example, which I
Yeah,
think tastes a
that's
lot better
possible.
than
And then we know
shredded cheese.
they drink vegan milk. We know they
And they
drink
drink,
oat milk
yeah.
and things
So it's just kind of one of those like
for health reasons.
for health reason. Not all the time, but
Yeah,
maybe I'll buy a
maybe.
bag. But I think you're right. Like if you're
Yeah,
expecting, shredded cheese and you get Daiya, then you're gonna be a little disappointed.
right. It's just a large drop off in quality compared to the real
Yeah.
thing. Whereas things like oat milk, to me, they're not any worse than milk used to be. Like they do the same thing. They don't taste like milk, but they're
Yeah.
not worse. Whereas the
So
cheese is
they
way
have a new formula. Is that what this
Yes,
says?
new formula. I didn't focus on that. I guess I didn't include it here. It's natural fermentation technology, and they're using oat milk, and they're fermenting it in this precision fermentation stuff. That's kind of the new thing. This dairy identical things that they're making. So they're into that now, which is pretty big deal because a year ago or a year and a half ago, when like Brave Robots started making the dairy identical stuff, it was a huge thing. It was like, wow, like a company's
Yeah,
putting out
right.
something that is literally whey protein, just not from animals. So I think this is that.
Wow,
Maybe not the
that
whey,
is a big
but
deal.
their
Well,
own precision
maybe it
fermentation.
wouldn't
Yeah,
taste as bad.
it's possible that it won't, and maybe that's the reason for the new ad campaign. So I hope so. I don't dislike the company except for that pyramid scheme. I didn't like that, but if the product was good, I'd be all for it. So
IRR6 on Instagram asks if we ever worry about plant-based meat and cheese not being healthy. Of course, because it's not.
yeah,
I mean, it's not
right.
a
We
health
don't.
food.
I mean, I would imagine that or think of that as a kind of treat to have, once, twice a week, whatever. There was recently research done on ultra processed foods showing that while general omnivorous ultra processed foods are linked to heart disease, cancers, things like that, and I wouldn't say it's a super strong link just yet because it's not that long that it's been studied. The plant-based foods were not linked. The plant-based ultra processed foods like the meats were not linked to cancer, heart disease, whatever the omnivorous ones were. Which does not make them a health food. Still, there's still problems with them, even if they don't necessarily cause long-term disease. But that was kind of a bright spot to see that.
Yeah. Well, I want to try this. I want to try the new cheese.
Yeah, I would definitely try it. If I see that new bag,
if anyone's tried it over on YouTube, let us know.
The bag didn't make it totally clear to me that it was like the brand new recipe, so I don't know how you'll know that it is, but it does look like a different Daiya bag than I've seen before. It just doesn't, that I could see, didn't say, now with precision fermentation. So who knows? Anyway, up next, speaking of ultra processed foods, McDonald's has announced that they are going after the afternoon crowd. They're going to try to compete with Dunkin' and Starbucks, which to me seems like they should be the ones trying to compete with McDonald's for the afternoon crowd. Because don't you go to those places in the morning? I thought, but apparently not. McDonald's wants to attract those people, and they're opening 10 new Cosmic restaurants. They're like alien themed, is the idea. Cosmic, like COSMC, like McDonald's. They're going to be one near Chicago, the rest in Texas. Imagine it would do well there, I guess. I don't know if Texas is going to be into the branding of Cosmic, but maybe. They're expecting to open nearly 10,000 normal McDonald's restaurants worldwide over the next 4 years to reach 50,000, which would be 25% growth of the company in 4 years as far as number of stores. And that's crazy because I don't understand how anyone's thinking about that. You go into fast food restaurants, if you can even get in the door, which yesterday we had Taco Bell for dinner. We never do this, but I had a headache, so I didn't feel like doing anything. And Erin said, "You know what? I'm gonna go get Taco Bell for anyone who wants it." She doesn't need Taco Bell, but she went out and got it. And we had it. And she said she tried to like go in to get her order, and of course you can't get in. Door's locked. It's just you got to go through the drive-through to pick up the mobile order. It just seems like fast food is in such a state of disarray that I can't imagine one of these things saying we need for every 4 of our restaurants we need a new one. Like I think they should be just getting rid of the seating areas in all these places and like
just
rent that out to
reinventing
somebody else.
the fast food is.
Right. So it's just crazy to me, but I'm sure they know what they're doing.
Matt, I don't mean to call you out.
Okay.
I don't mean I'm not shaming you in any way.
Okay.
Okay. But if I remember correctly, 2 nights ago it was frozen pizza. Last night it was Taco Bell. You give me a whole lot of grief for for my food choices, and I've had 2 whole food dinners in a row.
All right, our pizza wasn't frozen, and when we make pizza, this is whole wheat dough, whole wheat thin crust pizza, crust, tomato sauce, which was my own homemade marinara sauce, made from tomatoes from a can.
Okay,
whole field tomatoes. And then sprinkled cheese topping, which is nutritional yeast and cashews that we made ourselves. We're not putting Daiya all over like you do.
That's a little different than what I was envisioning. So there you go. Okay.
Okay. So the Taco Bell, I will admit that certainly is one. And like I said, it's a rare thing. But I admit it. I don't hide it. I don't pretend like we don't eat that stuff.
you just give me crap every time that I do.
Yeah. True.
Okay, going back to Daiya real quick. The bags have a new label at the top that says "new and improved," bright blue.
So it says that.
That's how you know. Yep, and it says it's made from Daiya oat cream blend. I'm not sure what that means.
Okay, and no mention of precision fermentation.
No, not that I saw. I didn't dig that deeply.
Or dairy identical or anything like that.
No. Emily says that she tried it. New bag has a little blue oat milk logo at the top. To be honest, I didn't like it. It tasted very similar to the old Daiya. There you go.
Okay. So their biggest investment over the 15-year history has created something that tasted just about the same as the original.
Sounds like it.
Carmen says Silk came out with the cheese. Not sure if it's new to anyone else, but it wasn't that good. Bridger says Matt will cave with microwave nachos next. Yeah, that'll be the day. When I announced last night, I was kind of not feeling lost or feeling up for anything, so we just stuck some Doritos in the microwave with some cheese.
He won't because he won't. He doesn't want me to win, so that's why he won't cave.
I would definitely not do that, and if I did that, I wouldn't admit it. That's for sure. I would keep that a secret.
I'm gonna start like every time I see Ellery, which is not very often anymore, but every time I see her, I'm gonna start just like hinting that that's a good thing to do, and you're gonna come home one day and she's gonna be microwaving nachos.
She might go for it. She doesn't really like the vegan cheese that much, so she would. But she gets into the Doritos purple bag, whatever those are, sweet chili or something. The accidentally vegan one. She loves that. All right. So there you go. There's your weather report. Kind of good one today compared to yesterday and the previous day. So I'm glad to have had that. All right. I think we should jump over to our questions, Doug, which I'm glad you came up with the idea that we should do that because I didn't see anything else today that was that worthy of attention. So this is from Discord. If you're not in Discord, you should get over there. It's nomeatathlete.com/Discord. And it's where you can, ask questions when we say we want to do questions tomorrow. Or you can share recipe pictures, or you can do whatever. And that's what people do over there. So go to that, nomeatathlete.com/Discord. It's free. But anyway, we got, 6 or 7 questions here. So we'll move pretty quickly. Let's not, 2 minutes each or something. So let's just jump right in. Number 1, Helen DeGennaro, our athletic brewing connection, says, what are your, if any, New Year's resolutions? She, of course, jokes that we already know Doug will be able to do 5 pull-ups. But what about you, Matt? So first of all, Doug, is the pull-ups thing really, it's probably time to put that to bed, isn't it?
It is. I decided this morning as I read that it's time to put it to bed. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing a little bit, which is basically before I get on the show, do some pull-ups. And, anytime I see him and I want to do it, that's fine. But, I got to let that one go. It's been 2 years. I've been unsuccessful.
Right.
It's time to move on. And you know what? I think that's probably when I'm gonna actually accomplish it. If I can just let it go.
It's possible. I think you will accomplishment. Like if for some reason your fitness focus changes
Mhm.
and you just for whatever reason get into strength training or something or some other sport or whatever that's not running, you
Yeah.
might just like find yourself able to do 5 pull-ups one day or something close to it, and then you'll say with a little bit of effort I could get here. I
Yeah.
could see that happening. But I agree. There's no reason to try to get 5 pull-ups, right? It's
There, I do have a running one though. But
okay.
I haven't
What's
totally
that?
vetted this out. So maybe we revisit it before the new year. But I
Yeah.
want to focus on some sort of fast race, not necessarily like a road half marathon or a road marathon or something like that, but some shorter distance. Could be on trail
Mhm.
where the training requires me to do a lot of speed work.
Okay.
That's
Not
I
pull-ups.
haven't done
I thought
that
you
in
were
a
gonna say it
long
requires
time.
pull-ups. Uh-huh.
I haven't done that in a long time, and I think it'd be fun. Mixed up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a good thing. I always talked about doing that and never did it when I was into running. I always thought like it'd be cool if like one year you just say I'm just gonna run my fastest mile I've ever run this year,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna work towards that all year. But I never did that. Not even close. Didn't even do one training towards that because I never set it as a goal. So I don't have any here. I have no resolutions yet planned. I'm supposed to because I'm the December guy who says your December's your
Yep.
time to be making
Mhm.
progress towards them. Don't wait till January 31st and just come up with resolutions. But I don't know. I just haven't really thought about it. I feel like I'm at an inflection point where like I'm gonna come up with the right thing and it's gonna be my whole life after that. But I don't know what it is.
Your whole life
Gotta
for a
work.
couple months.
Yeah, probably. Mostly. That's how things usually are.
Yeah.
But my strength training one, that didn't become my whole life, and that's probably why I've kept it up. That was when I said I was going to change that. That was a big turn for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wish I had a better answer, but we will revisit this for sure as
Yeah,
we
we
get
will.
closer to New
Because
Year's.
I honestly haven't spent that much time thinking about it yet, and I want a good resolution that's not running related, probably not even fitness related. I like to
Mhm.
come up with something different. So
Yeah, me too. Okay, so yeah, good one, Helen. I wish I had a better answer right now, but this is a good motivator, a good reminder that I need to kind of figure that out because I really don't want to wait till January 31st and say, what am I going to do now? What's my New Year's plan? So I'm going to get on thinking about that. All right, next, Judy says, I'm going to Italy for the first time in March. I'm traveling with my partner who's vegan, adult daughter who's vegetarian, and adult son who's omni. Do you have any restaurant or other recommendations? We'll be visiting Rome and Florence. That's a good one. I've been to Italy as a vegan 3 times. And once was on a totally vegan trip, so that didn't count because all our food was supplied and everything. So I didn't have to fend for myself there. Rome is easy. You just end up eating a ton of white pasta and tomato sauce things, or white pizza. White flour pizza with tomato sauce. Pizza marinara
I mean
is a
they
thing.
have pizza, cheeseless pizza everywhere. It's
Yeah,
like
that's pizza
very common.
marinara. It's not like it's a vegan modification. It's just a style of pizza that is like margarita is one style, marinara is one style, and there's a bunch of other ones. So that's easy to do. And of course, if you look up vegan restaurants or vegan friendly, you'll find like Southern Italy, not hard at all to find vegan food, in my opinion. Florence, when I went there a long time ago, I was not vegan. That's more north. North is harder because you get more dairy and less olive oil. But Florence is like in the middle. It's not north. So
yeah, we went to Florence and there were at least 3 or 4 maybe fully vegan restaurants in Florence that we found. And I frequented those and just didn't have that much of a trouble. Even like there's vegan gelato at a lot of gelato places.
Yep.
And
that's not like I don't well actually I don't know. You don't have to go to a vegan gelato place. A lot of the gelato places just have a dairy-free flavor.
option.
Right. And you say the word vegan and we didn't get looked at sideways or anything or vegano. And you say that and people, they know what it is. It wasn't like a weird, like, get out of here. Like, what are you talking about? You're disrespecting our whole food culture. None of that. It was very friendly and nice about that. Yeah. She did say she's traveling with son who's an omnivore though. So he may not want to go to the vegan restaurants, but
that's true.
I think you'll find things that are really flexible. Not hard. Okay. Good. Kelly K says, talk about why you tried veganism in the first place, how it impacted your family at the time, reasons why you continue, how long it has been. Yeah, we don't talk about that much because I guess we sort of assume people know. But someone who wasn't a No Meat Athlete radio listener from a long time ago might not know that stuff.
Right.
So I'll go very quickly here. I went vegetarian in 2009, kind of for health reasons. Well, actually, I don't know. It was a mix of animals and health. It wasn't for fitness. I thought it would make fitness more difficult, and it turned out it worked really well. So that's when I started my website. 2011 is when I decided to go vegan after kind of realizing that, vegetarian is just part of the thing. The vegan is really the way to actually do it if you care about animal cruelty. My wife just kind of went along with it. She when I went vegetarian, she was also interested. And when I went vegan, she said, yeah, I'm going to do that too. So we just did it. And it was honestly really easy because of that. So I'm very grateful for that. I know it's not always that easy for everyone to get support from their partner. But
yes,
I guess that's it. That's the answer, right?
Yeah, that's good. I went vegetarian probably in like 2012, 11, 12, something like that. Not actually sure. And it was mostly for environmental reasons. Also, I'd say mostly environmental reasons. And Katie was already vegetarian, so that wasn't a problem. And then that's how I found you, Matt, because I was like training for marathons and looking up, how to be a vegetarian and an athlete and a runner. And that's how I found No Meat Athlete. And I was vegetarian for a couple years. I think it was 2013 that I did a 7-day vegan challenge from what's his name?
Leo
Zen Habits. Leo
Habits.
Babalta. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that jump started a at-home vegan stretch where I was at home vegan for maybe 6 months or so, but would not be vegan. I'd be vegetarian when I went out. And then from there, when we moved here, which was early 2014, so almost 10 years ago, is when I went fully vegan. And yeah, it's been Katie took a little longer to go vegan, and she's every once in a while she's a little bit less strict than I am, even today. But our kids are vegan, and we're a fully vegan house. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
and she also asked why we continue being vegan. But for me, it's really just the same. Like the animal stuff is the main reason still.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about that a whole lot, and just wondered, like, could I actually eat them? And I don't know. I just wouldn't. I don't know how I could. It just would be hard. Health is like more of a factor than it used to be. I guess I've sort of learned a lot more about that. Actually, it swings back and forth. Sometimes I'd say in the middle of this journey, I thought this is the only way to eat, the only healthy way to eat. Now I'm more like, I think there also are other healthy ways to eat that involve some amount of animal products. Because if you look at the blue zones type stuff, those people are healthy and live a long time. So I don't think that anymore. But it remains something that like kind of makes you eat healthy. I know there are ways to get around that if you want nowadays, but it just sort of makes it easy to make good decisions. So it works.
It like for me, it's never an inconvenience, really. I mean, every once in a while it will be, I guess, but like it doesn't feel like this big strain on my life to be vegan, and it adds some parameters which I think are really helpful for me, like you said, to just be constantly making the healthier choice for arguably myself, but also the animals and the environment, and I think it's a better option than like trying to sometimes be vegan or sometimes eat vegan, sometimes not. Like I don't know, just hard and fast rules work for me, and I can follow them a lot better.
Yeah,
take that decision making out of it. Gerudo Legend says vegetarian is not a great step. Reduce all animal products to 5% to let your body adjust, then try veganism. Dairy is harder to give up than meat in most cases.
But Gerudo Legends is not vegan, I don't think. I'm pretty sure. I know for a fact. So I'm curious if Gerudo Legends, you have tried it before or not. I'm not sure. Also, though, Gerudo Legend says hit the like button. I think they're saying everyone should do that. The most informal podcast in the morning. You could also not click on the like button and eat a week-old pizza out of the freezer, which is better. I don't know what that means, but it's kind of funny. I think I get it. Yesterday I said Gerudo Legends knows what's cool, so maybe they're just kind of
Yeah.
Maybe they appreciate the flattery. But I do think that.
Emily says that she oscillates between environmental, animal rights, and health, which I think, so like animal rights was never really that big of a thing for me. And then I got really into it for a while, and it was kind of a big motivator for me. And now, and like I think that happens, that you kind of oscillate between them, and
Yeah,
based on where
depends
you are
on
in
the
life and the day. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, agreed. All right, moving on. I asked for holiday things specifically, and I think this is the only one that is holiday. So thank you, Lisa K. What are your favorite vegan Christmas cookies? I mean, Doug, you go first. You're the cookie sweet guy. You're the guy who eats all the junk food all the time, doesn't eat healthily.
Yep, that's me.
I'm kidding, of course. But what do you
No.
think? What's your favorite Christmas cookie?
Well, I don't have a huge sweet tooth, as we've discussed many times. I have much
Mm-hmm.
of a salt tooth. But I got to go with the classic sugar cookies that we don't put, homemade sugar cookies. We don't put any sort of frosting or anything like that on top of them. We do a little bit of sprinkle, and then before you bake them, so they're kind of baked in. But yeah, got to go with the classic. That's what we've
Those
been making
are
my whole
really
life. And now we make a vegan version, and they taste just as good.
Yeah, those are definitely a contender for favorite cookie for me. Like you, I do not have a sweet tooth at all, and I don't like too much richness of flavor. So that simple cookie with the sprinkles on top is good. And Erin makes that along with Ellery now. They make a bunch of cookies every year, and I end up eating that because I like when Erin and Ellery make cookies. Like that's the time I actually have a sweet tooth, is when they have made it, because for whatever reason I don't know if it tastes better, or I just feel the love in it, and I just like it. So that's when I eat cookies, when they make them. Erin makes one that's called jam diagonals, and it's like, I don't know if this is like a real thing. I think it is, but they're just like these white. I don't know how to describe them, but they're these white rectangular kind of cookies that are cut on diagonal, and they've got a jelly patch in the middle of them.
Yeah.
And it's sweet, but it's just really good. So those are good.
Katie's mom makes these things called cathedral window cookies. You heard of these?
I think I have heard of that, but I don't know what it is.
It's like basically like a chocolate fudgy type thing where you put marshmallows, colorful marshmallows in it, and when you slice it, it looks like a stained glass window type thing. They're not vegans. I've never actually had them, but they look really good. And if someone ever made me a vegan version, I think I would gobble them up.
Good. All right. Let's see. I missed Bianca's accidentally, but that's okay. She's never here live, so she won't feel slighted. But we'll do hers now. And she says, Matt, what's your favorite recipe using chorizo? I have some Abbott's chorizo left to use up. So I was ready to answer this and say, I actually don't really eat the chorizo, the Mexican chorizo, the crumbled chorizo that is spicy. When I do eat that, which now and then I'll get Trader Joe's soy rizo, that's good. Just like mixed with, like, saute that stuff for a few minutes, add in beans you've already made or from a can or whatever, add that to the pot, and then put it over greens. The old green bean thing, except instead of grain, you have chorizo. So that's pretty good. But then I looked on Abbott's website, and they actually call that thing Spanish chorizo, and it's said it's like has some flavor but not spicy. So I think they're going more for the Spanish style chorizo, even though it uses chipotle peppers in it. So it's almost like it's a mix of the two, and it's crumbled, which I don't ever know of Spanish chorizo being crumbled. So I don't know what to do with that one. When I used actual Spanish chorizo, which is of course vegan, I have a good recipe that I meant to post in Discord a long time ago. You slice it. It's like a like a sausage roll, and you slice it. And there's a dish called patatas a la riojana that is potatoes and not much else. Some onion, green pepper, and it's just like a stew. That's my favorite chorizo dish. If you have sliced Spanish chorizo, which of course you got to make, because you can't really. Not many people sell a vegan version of that. So there's that one. And then she also wondered about, sorry, I just lost the tab. Doug, what goes into a Doug burrito?
What goes into a Doug burrito? Yep. I'm not really anything goes into a Doug burrito.
That's it.
Usually sweet potato, but sometimes so not sweet potato, black, and then you saute the onion and pepper in kind of long, like fajita style cut. But the big, honestly, what makes a good burrito versus not a good burrito is the taco seasoning, is the seasoning. So we make our own taco seasoning. It's like chili powder, cumin, pepper, I think garlic powder. We've been adding, I think, and then oregano. Oregano is a big one. You got to have oregano in your taco seasoning. And if you can get that right, and especially when you're doing the sautéing with a little bit of water, and so it like coats on there really well. That's the key to a good
not
taco.
oil, huh? Not oil.
I mean, a little. I mean, not no oil, because you do oil for the potatoes normally, and then we'll dump those out, and then use the same pan, add a little water to get the taco seasoning because it thickens up a little bit more. It's very good. That's the way to go.
Right.
And then definitely some avocado, something like that. Something
what kind
fresh.
of sauce or cilantro. You got to put some sort of sauce in there, right?
Yeah, a little. Either salsa from a can or homemade salsa with tomato and cilantro, a little lime juice, and then some hot sauce, some sort of hot sauce, and maybe a little avocado. That's the Doug burrito. But honestly, sometimes I make a burrito that's like Indian style or anything else. Breakfast burritos. Love a
and
good
you eat
breakfast
burritos out of 7 nights in a week. You eat burrito 5 of them, probably, right?
No, not even close. Probably just once a week. Maybe. Well, we cook it. We cook it once a week, and then I usually get tacos on band night, on Thursday night. So twice a week. Okay. And then maybe one of the brunches is a breakfast burrito. So so now we're up to three times a week.
Okay. Yeah. Good. All right. I missed, actually, that was Bianca's later questions. Her earlier one was, since Matt is writing a book on UPFs, I'd love to know what, if any, is the safe level of UPFs, because I really enjoy processed foods. And then what's the timeline? So the book actually isn't about UPFs, and it's not even a book yet. It's literally just still in the works, in the proposal phase. We keep trying to find exactly what our agent agrees, like this would be a good marketable thing. So it's really not, I mean, UPFs is background for sure, but it's not really about that. As far as what's a safe level, I mean, I mentioned the thing earlier in the show that like it appears maybe these plant-based meat things are better than other UPFs. So yes, they are still ultra processed food. They don't come with some of the dangers that come from animal product UPFs. But that was literally one study, and you can't say much about that based on one study. So I don't know. She says the 80-20 rule here. I don't know. I've heard Dr. Furman say, I think less than 10% of your calories can be non-nutritarian, which is his super healthy, ultra healthy plant-based diet. So I think that's a good rule. 10% of your calories can be junk, and your body doesn't know the difference.
There you go.
All right, Josh from Delaware, who I was going to meet up with for a beer or a workout or something, and then it just didn't work out when I was in Delaware this past summer. So hopefully we can do that again, Josh, or make that happen next time I'm there, which is almost every summer. Okay, going back to the NMA podcast days, who was your favorite guest, or which guest did you learn the most from? I saw this before the show and tried to think quickly. I have trouble thinking of like who the guests were. I was such a not into the guest interviews that much. Because even when I had someone to interview who I really did admire and wanted to learn from, I just didn't feel like I could. Maybe that's what makes a good podcast. Is interviewer. It would be someone who's, their eagerness to learn from the guest really comes through. I just felt like I was having to prepare a show and like make sure I didn't mess up. And you get nervous around the people that you most admire. Right. So I never got that much out of doing the interviews, other than creating good content and stuff. But I'll say I loved having Scott Jurek on. I mean, he was like an idol of mine.
That was early days. Early days. That
was kind of early. Yeah, it was when his book came out, which was 2012, I think. So that was cool for sure. Brendan Brazier was never on that. He was like my first big person I interviewed, and that was exciting. Rich Roll on the podcast, that was really cool, obviously, because he came back on even once he was like more famous. So that was cool. Sid, great friend. Robert, it was fun to have those guys on 4 or 5 times. Yeah. And then I remember liking a lot. Jasmine Singer, I liked having on a lot. I was kind of nervous that she would because she wrote the ethical vegan kind of books. I forget what she wrote exactly. But I was always like nervous. Like I just felt like I was like somehow not quite in that crowd. And I just thought I'm gonna make a fool of myself somehow. but I didn't, and I don't know why I was worried about that, because that was my whole reason or one of my big reasons was that. So I like that one too. Colleen Patrick Gaudreau, also a great one. She was always very fun, easy to talk to. We connected.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I mean, we had some big names, and those are cool and exciting, of course.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with the most fun for sure is like Sid or Pamela, and people we knew, Pamela Ferguson, Sid
Pamela
Garza,
good too.
people we like were comfortable
Yep.
with, so that it felt more like a real conversation and not that nervous interview.
Right. Not Russell Simmons. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was funny, man. That was funny. That was a big name.
And then he got canceled. Yeah, he was probably the biggest,
Yeah.
most famous person we ever had on there.
Uh-huh.
But then he got canceled somehow. I don't know
Didn't
what it was for, but remember that.
for sexual assault.
Okay, there you go. All right.
I'm
Any
looking
others?
through the list here, trying to. Oh, who was really fun too? It was like a surprisingly fun interview. Was the Buddha chef guy?
Yep, he crossed my mind too. And Jeff Binney was great. He was really fun.
Jeff Binney. I mean, like exactly.
But
Yeah.
before he was very known either. He was a comedian back then. I don't know what he was doing. He hadn't made his movie yet, which is called Once Is Enough. That's a good, funny documentary, by the way, on Amazon. But he's gotten much more famous since then. But he was fun.
Dina Castor, right? She came on.
Was she? I don't remember that. Is that right?
Yeah. I just saw it. I remember the interview.
Oh, okay. I knew we got a picture with her and Runner's World.
Yep.
Wow,
It was early days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Funny.
Some good people.
Good times.
Yeah.
Too bad the quality of all those
now
interviews
it's
is like
just
unlistenable.
us.
The audio quality. Yeah. If they were good quality audio, we could go back and probably have a nice collection of cool things that makes us look like actual legit people. But they're probably just unlistenable, the audio.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Good. Getting near the end here. Jessica says, I like Doug's taco burrito enchilada recipe. So we kind of did that. Would like to know Matt's feeling about oil these days. That's a good one. That fluctuates. These days, I think extra virgin olive oil is a health food. I believe that is something that you should try to get. The problem is when you saute it, you make it probably a non-health food. And worse than neutral. I think you make it a bad thing. So
really,
I've been using
just by
lighter
sauteing, not burning it or anything, but just sauteing it.
Yeah, I don't know for a fact, but I think when you saute, you get close to that smoke point. And I don't know if the smoke point is exact. Like, even if it's not smoking, I think you still could be doing oxidation, that kind of damage. I don't know. Dr. Walter Longo's book, Longevity Diet, kind of convinced me that I should eat extra virgin olive oil, but do so when it is, cold, room temperature salads and things like that, or drizzle on your pasta at the end or whatever. And just use regular olive oil, which apparently holds up better to the sauteing temperatures, because it doesn't have the compounds and things that will burn or whatever. I don't fully understand the chemistry there, why that works, but I kind of just still don't think that's a health food. I think that's like you limit the damage when you do that, but I still don't think it's great. So I don't know. I still eat oil. I like it. I like cooking with it, but I don't really think it's a health food. But I think extra virgin olive oil can be. And I stay away from coconut oil because I'm afraid of the saturated fat and what it does to my cholesterol levels. And that's not just theory. That actually happens. So I don't like that. So I stay away from that one for the most part. And that's it. That's my oil feelings.
Yep.
All right,
Hey, I got an
says,
enchilada shout out. The Oshi Glows enchilada from her book, the original book, Oshi Glows.
Yep.
Very good. We'll come back to that one. Yep.
Good.
It's sweet potato.
Enchilada seems like a lot of work.
They're really not. They're really not. No, I mean, you like saute everything up, roll it up, and then just pour the sauce on top and stuff and put it in the oven.
It's just all that rolling and then having to get the tortillas into the dish and not open up in there. Isn't that a lot of work? First soften the tortillas.
Not bad. Worth it.
Not bad.
Yeah,
okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, I believe that.
Okay.
All right. KJ says, how about favorite meal delivery boxes for those who don't really like to cook, like Green Chef, Purple Carrot, etc.? There was one of them that I really liked. Do you remember what that one was? It may have gone out of business. Bistro. It was Bistro.
Yes. Bistro was good. They
And
were pre-made though, weren't they?
They were mostly made. I think. Yeah, I don't think it was.
Yeah. I think they were pre-made and frozen.
That's right. They
remember
were. And I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, VEESTRO.
Yes.
So they do still exist. I don't know how good they are, if it's the same owners and all that, but that was good food.
Yeah.
Junk food, but you know, it wasn't healthy stuff.
We got a lot of those when we had our second kid. Green Chef, I mean, you know, we've had experience with them. It's you know what I like about those is like it's a good way to try new recipes. It is a lot of waste, a lot of wasted packaging and stuff like that.
Yeah, they claim they're the lowest waste, or the lowest food waste.
I mean, it just
something like that.
They claim that, yes.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, they're okay. They're always okay. It's nice to try them for a little while. And I haven't really tried that other. I haven't tried Purple Carrot, even though Andy, the founder, who's no longer there, I don't think he's a friend. But I actually
had
never
the
ate
Purple Carrot frozen meals from like the frozen aisle several times. They're good.
Oh yeah, I did get their meal delivery. I was thinking those frozen. I haven't had those frozen things, but I did get their meal delivery stuff back in the day. And that was so long ago that it's probably not even relevant to how it is now. Okay. Let's see. Birdman interjects. Graza olive oil says that it is okay to saute. Is that a brand, Graza? And if so, I mean, of course they're going to say it's okay to saute. They're selling olive oil, so I can't go off of that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people say extra virgin olive oil okay to saute as long as you stay under the smoke point. But I'd trust a health guru over the olive oil company personally. Doesn't mean it's wrong, but you know, I would. All right, Guru Legend says more nice stuff. I always like when Guru Legend says this, so I always read these things. I love this podcast because you keep it relatively neutral. I wish more vegans adopted this outlook, like y'all two beautiful vegans. Very nice. Thank you, Guru Legend.
Thank you very much.
All right, is that all the questions? Did we get all?
I think we got through it. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
we're also coming up on an hour.
Okay, good.
Any plans the weekend, Matt? Weekend plans?
Makeup sleepover for last week when I drove Ellery to Asheville and her friend got sick. This time they're coming here and she's bringing her brother so that Holden can hang out. So double kid sleepover. I think it's just one night. It was there were talks of it being 2 nights. So that's what's going on. But you know, nothing too big outside of that. Christmas shopping, maybe.
There you go. We are
what about
celebrating Eliza's 7th birthday. Got a little birthday party going on. Going to the Riveter in Asheville, which is like a climbing gym type thing. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Early?
Her birthday is the 16th, but no one can hang out on the 16th, so too close to Christmas. Okay. So we do it a week early.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, we saved it. We saved a show. We salvaged one good show from this weekend or week of less than stellar available content to talk about.
No.
But it's good. Thank you for the questions, everyone who submitted them for sure, and thank you to everyone else who showed up and listened. Good audience today. Good comments. It's always good. Always nice, and especially on a Thursday, fun vibes. So
you know what'll be a hit at the sleepover, Matt? It's microwave nachos. I highly recommend it. Yeah.
No, but what will is popcorn that we make not from the microwave bag anymore because you advised me not to do that.
There you go.
In olive oil. So we do introduce whatever problems come with that, but you got to live a little bit. As someone told me earlier this week on the show, one of the commenters said that I need to start living a little bit. All right. That's all. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you.
Thanks. Have a great weekend. We will see you next. Bye-bye.